Hello and welcome back to The Imperfect Equestrian. Today I thought maybe you'd come a little bit of a walk with me and we'll just have a little chat.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you.
So today I decided we'd have a little ground walk and I talk to you a little bit about some things that have been going on in my head lately. I have lost my confidence again and I need to build it back up, and this is something that happens to me quite regularly on a loop, and there's no real reason for it. It just comes and goes, and I think this time what happened was I just had a little bit of a gap from the riding, and that's all it took to kind of knock my confidence. And I don't know what demons or imaginations I have in my head to think that getting back on is going to be a problem. I just thought we'd have a little walk around the field that we're using at the moment, just to give me a little bit of confidence again and to give me some time to have a chat with you. Confidence is a really difficult thing to deal with. Like I said, it can just go out of nowhere at all. You never quite know when it's going to strike, and when it hits, you miss the feeling of confidence. And I just want to be able to feel happy to get on and ride, and it's not JJ and it's not Comanche, it's completely in my head. In fact, if anything, they're really good horses because of the fact that I keep going back to groundwork all the time because I get too nervous about the riding. Like I said, when you get thoughts like that in your head where you lose confidence, then it makes me think things like, should I even have horses at all? Or I get thoughts like, maybe I should just sell JJ and get a cob, because in my head I have that cobs are super sensible and you can just get on them and go do what you want. But in reality, one, not all cobs are like that, even though I've been lucky in the past to have cobs like that. And also, JJ is actually like that. She's a really good girl, but she just needs more hours on her. And she's pushing me. And unfortunately, because I keep having nervous spells, I don't necessarily put the amount of hours in that she really needs on the ridden side, or in practical things like going out places. I've even kind of considered, should I be getting someone to help me ride her? But we're really rural around here, and I put out a couple of feelers, and there's a couple of people I could pay to ride her. But honestly, once I've paid for an hour or two, is it not an hour or two that I could really have done myself? I can't really afford a good amount of hours that would make a difference for her, if you know what I mean. I have other thoughts as well. Would it be a good idea to take a year off and breed her and come back to it again later? But I don't think that's necessarily the answer to my confidence, because quite often yearly I end up doing like 2 or 3 months intensive work and having a break anyway, so it wouldn't be that much different to that really. And then one of the other things I tend to think about is, should I put her out on loan for a bit? Not necessarily over a winter, but there's obviously always benefits to sharing your horse with someone else. And I could put her out on loan for summer, maybe. And ideally, it would be someone who really wanted to do a lot of hacking, perhaps go do some local events or shows or something like that, just to really give her some experience. But of course, with that, the things that I would get concerned about is training methods, because as you know, I try and stick to natural horsemanship, and we don't really kick the horses to go or try and squeeze them to go and things like that. And I would be worried that somebody might be a little bit too traditional if they had her on loan, so they might kick them very hard to go, or pull her very hard on the bit, and not be conscientious of when she needs to just wait before she goes forwards. So it's a very difficult decision, and I'm sure a lot of you have confidence spouts like this where you're really not sure what direction to take in life and what's best for you and your horses. I mean, as you can see, if you look at JJ, she's quite tubby. I'm quite fortunate that she's just come onto this grass at the moment, which has been lent to us, the space at the moment, and you can see the grass down here is long and not very nutritious fibrously, so it's not bad even though it's long, this hay grass I mean. But obviously with her being overweight, she definitely benefit from more hours exercise, and it's just my own head holding me back. So we've come out onto the lanes now, and it's grown up quite a lot since we were last here. There's a lot of overgrowth pushing into the walkways, making it a little bit difficult. JJ's a little bit excited by all the grass around. I keep tripping over some of the vines on the floor, but it's okay. We'll be okay. Good girl, JJ. Calm down a bit. It's really good for your confidence and your horse's confidence, as I've said a million times, to be working on the ground together. It gives you a chance to build a relationship, get to know each other, and re-establish some boundaries. So I have to stop and question time and time again, what do I want from our relationship? And I want to bond, obviously, but I don't want to be just a ground person. I do want to ride as well. So I have to keep fighting to head towards those goals. It's very difficult. I think my dream in my head would be to just be able to go out, tack up and hack anywhere. And it's not that that dream can't be a reality now. It probably can, because JJ is actually really good with heavy traffic. I've ridden her through a busy village, and apart from one tractor that sped past her once, we've not particularly had anything big go past her. She'll stand literally right by tractors and trailers in tiny little lay-bys as they go past. So she's pretty good with traffic. Obviously, if we haven't been out for a while, she's a bit more lively, but that's really down to me and not getting in those hours that we talked about earlier. But that's really what I'd like from JJ and myself, obviously as a combined relationship, is to be able to go out and explore the world, occasionally go and have some sort of lesson, maybe do some fun mini competitions, although I'm not a competition person at all really. But that's what I would like for us. And I think that's why I keep having those thoughts of, is it right to do this with JJ? Is she the right horse for this? Because although her age, because I'm not putting in the hours, even though she's good, I'd consider her very green, if you know what I mean, very green. And I need to put in the hours to make her better. And it's my confidence that keeps stopping that. So it's difficult. I'd be really interested to know in the comments if any of you really get moments like this where you're feeling like what you're wanting to do with your horse is impossible, even if it technically is possible. And even if you've got a good horse, whether your head just keeps saying, no, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you've not trained your horse good enough, and everything's always going to end in some big disaster. I think if anyone's really got any tips as well as to anything else we can do to improve, I mean, obviously I've got all the natural horsemanship skills for the ground, and I know how to take things step by step. I know all about approach and retreat, and we do a lot of that. Not just physically for if things are scary, but also emotionally approaching and retreating, like the riding situation. And as I've mentioned in a video before, I've even been in a position where I got so scared I had to take a saddle to the stable and go sit on a fence on the saddle near to the horses and take it right about that far. So go see my video on confidence for that. So I've got a lot of tools for confidence, but it's a bit of a demon. It keeps coming back. and going away. So I suppose the aim in life is to get your confidence gaps to a smaller position, so that the times you feel unconfident, there's less of them and they're shorter when they happen. But we keep trying. I mean, hopefully, I've got a friend that lets me use her arena, but obviously I have to travel there. And hopefully I'll get a position in life at some point where we can have our own arena, and maybe that'll give me some confidence to keep going and get a bit more hours in. So I really hope I'm not bringing too much of a downer with this video. You're not really learning anything today other than a little bit about how I am at the moment and what's going on in my life. But other than that, we're all good. But I'm planning something a bit more fun for the next video, and maybe a little bit Halloween based. So do look out for that. Woo! Another vine in the floor. Step over it. We've not had too much of an adventure today. Just a little bit of an explore down the lanes behind, and a little bit of a walk around the field that we're using at the moment. If there's anything particular you'd like to see in our content, please do let me know, and I will do my best to try and get some of that done for you. Whoa, JJ. Back in the field. Back. Go on. Up. More. Walk on. Good girl. Whoa. Enough. Good girl. Wait. Well, we're back in the field now. Finished our little explore, and if I do get some sort of definite plan about how I'm going to improve my confidence or get more hours on JJ, then I'll definitely let you know. I hope you've enjoyed today's little wander around. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and leave me some comments with some ideas or your own experiences. And we'll see you again next time. Bye. We better go back to Comanche. He's got a bit annoyed with us because we left him. You're right, Comanche.